Okay, here we go. Just going to show you real quick in Vcarve Pro how to create tool paths and then how to do a little bit of editing. I will also send you guys in an email here. I'll attach if you go up to machine and, or excuse me, tool paths, there's this tool database. I'll send you the one I have, and then you should be able to just install it. So once you get that, if you go tool database, uh, and you come down here, you should be able to just add import tool database, and it will give you the databases I have set up. So I already kind of set these up for kids. So like the Spitfire CNC Plasma, if you click on that tool, you'll see that I have one tool set up already with different parameters for 14 gauge steel. For every thickness of steel or whatever material you're going to cut it out of, you would need to create a new tool. And I'll come back and talk about this in a little bit. But really, the only thing you need to edit in here would be your feed rate. So, but like I said, I'll come back and talk about this in a minute. But I'll send you guys this. I have one tool set up for the Exus Tech that they use. And then I also have the tools that kids are using with the bigger Tormac, the 1100. So I'll send those your way. But anyways, this one's just about the Spitfire Plasma. So here we go. So first thing is on the bottom here where it says Huskies, you can see that I've actually already created tool paths. And if I zoom in, you can see that I have entry or lead ins on there, which is going to be important for plasma so that we get nice cuts. So the first thing you do once you get a design done and ready to go, so I'll do this one up top here, is so let's say I want to cut this out on the CNC. I want to get in and come in and edit something real quick. So node editing mode. So if you click on this button and then I go on, what I want to do on everywhere it's going to be cut out, wherever it's a green node, that's where it's going to start your lead in. So you want to make sure that it's not in the corners. Okay. So I'm going to try to do like this arc or this radius lead in. And you can mess around with the lengths of it, but to edit these, you basically just hover over the node you want, and you push the letter P as in paddock or P as in Paul on your keyboard, and you can change where the lead ins are going to happen. So I just come around. So I would say like, okay, on this one, I want to go right there. And I would get an arc that leads in there. On the letter A, it's a little bit tighter in here. So I might left click there, it becomes red. And then if I push the letter P, I can get an arc in here. This one, let's see where it wants this. So there's no internal cutout here, so I don't have to worry about this. Just the internal cutouts is where you have to. So like this one's in the corner, that wouldn't be good, obviously. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to have a lead in right there. The letter E is okay. But I am going to check this perimeter cut here. So see, it wants to actually do an arc in the corner. I don't like that. So I'm going to come down here. And for some reason, I can't get that one to work. All right. So for some reason, I can't get this one to work, but shoot. Oh, I have to make that not green, and then I think I can make this green. No, it's not going to let me do it. I got to figure this out. So I've just been messing with it, but I had some success with the Huskies. But you got to turn your lead ins wherever you want it to start cutting. So like I said, green, internal stuff is really important. Green's right there. That looks good. And then for this big outside cut, it's going to go right there, which, like I said, I would spend some more time later on trying to get in the right spot, but I can't right now. So going forward, so it'll do a lead in right here. The lead in lengths, like I said, you can mess with that. What's really cool about Vcarve, I'm actually just going to choose outside. I don't have to choose inside or outside like in SheetCam, which is kind of nice. So it's smart enough in the program just to naturally figure out that even though you selected outside lead ins for everything, that it will naturally put them on the inside, which I thought was actually really cool. So here we go. If I take my selection tool and left click and I highlight everything, and because I already have my tool database installed, I can just come up to tool paths right now. And the tool I'm going to do is a profile. Go down, and I already have my tool as plasma tip, but I could select it and I could come over here and select this. Like I said, my feed rate and plunge rate, all that, I had to kind of mess around with these parameters and figure this out, especially plunge. But feed rate, I think for 14 gauge in the Tormac, uh, not the Tormac, the CNC, the plasma torch manual, it said like 225 inches per minute, and that didn't cut very nice for me. So I messed with those parameters a little bit. So I'm gonna select that tool. All right. And I don't have to mess with anything else. Outside, I don't have to come in and check inside and outside. It's going to automatically do it. Obviously, I don't want to cut on. So I'm going to go outside, scroll all the way down. And obviously, I want to project toolpath, but I want to do this leads. So click on leads, add leads. Okay. And everywhere it's got a green dot, it's going to add a lead. So that's why it was important to do that node editing tool over here. You can come in and mess with these radiuses. This is kind of what I have it set at right now. So you can look at some of my settings. I don't want to lead out. If you want to overcut, you can. I don't usually mess with that. You could change your order if you want. I'm not going to do that. So this is all I really did. Circular lead. Radius was 0.1, 0.35 inches long. And then I could say my toolpath name. I'll just put Dave and hit calculate. Okay. So you could, yep. Okay. Oh, okay. So I did one other huge thing here. Sorry for this video. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to go back and edit this. This is just real time live. So I had open vectors. So what I should have done before I even created this was, and some of you guys are going to laugh because you already knew this, but that's all right. I can roll with it. I just highlight everything, and I should just go to join open vectors. And I had 4 of them, so I just say join. Close. There we go. It should work now. Go back in, toolpaths, calculate. Okay. So let me, I'm going to uncheck that one, but let's just preview this one right now. Okay, you can see I did a quick preview, but it's going to, there's my lead in right here. There's my lead in, there's my lead in, and you can see where it's going to cut. The little error message that popped up just a second ago, the reason it came up is it didn't like this corner lead in right here. So it's so that's why it was kind of giving me an error message. And I showed you earlier how I was having issues figuring out how to make it a green, but I need to go back and putz with that a little bit. So here we go. Everything's good to go. You can see that it's going to cut, and then cut around the perimeter. If I go back to toolpaths now, I only want this one. Okay, I had a second one down here earlier. I'll show you this one being cut on the machine because I know the Huskies one works. There it is. I already previewed it, so I can close that. And now all you have to do is hit Save Toolpath. Make sure the toolpath is right here. There it is. And Post Processor, this is also what I was sending you in the email. So you should have got my tool database. And then you're also going to have to install the Post Processor. And at the end of this, I'll show you how to install both of those. Right, so you could go on here and look for, like I have Path Pilot for the Tormax, but Mach 3 Plasma is the name of it. So Mach 3 is the controller, and that should work with all the Spitfires. There we go. Oop, dang it. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Save toolpath. Okay, and then it's going to give it that tap file, whatever. You can see I have another one, and I'll just hit save. Right, then I could take it right over to the Spitfire, and I could run it on there. There's a few machine setups that I'll show you in a quick little video there. But before I'm done here, I wanted to just show you how to go ahead and install um, both the tool database and the post processor. So once you're in Vcarve, if you go up to machine, install post processor, you just need to get this downloaded out of the email. Okay, select it, and then you can hit open. All right, and then you'll have it in there. So, like I said, this is the one I sent you. And this will work with any gauge metal. So it doesn't matter. All right, and it works with torch height control also. To install the tool database, you just go tool database, find import tool database. So you have to download it out of your email. Go find the different tool databases you want, and then hit open, install them, and then you should be able to come in and find my tools that I have in there and go, edit them for however you guys want. I don't care. They're yours. Okay, hit cancel out. So those are the two ways you do that. I'm just seeing if there's anything else here that I forgot about before we hop over to another video. Oh, yeah, this is important. Okay, I said I was going to do this. So tools, tool database. I am working on Plasma right here. This is where you're going to come in and create a new tool for each different thickness of steel you want. So I've only set up the 14 gauge steel. So as far as parameters that I had to come in here, I set the diameter of the torch tip to 0.04. So that should be for everybody. That's just the kerf at which it cuts. The pass depth, I stole some of these. These really actually don't matter, but a guy online I was watching on a video, he used some of these settings, so I just took his stuff, and he said it doesn't matter, but I punched it in anyways. Spindle speed, there's no spindle speed, so that doesn't matter. This is really what matters down here, and this is where you need to spend some time, just trial and error. I did some cuts, and then I just wrote on there with permanent marker right on the steel I was cutting what the specs were, and I kept going just until I got something that I really, really liked. And then I made sure I saved these settings. So I found out for like 14 gauge that the feed rate needs to be 170. I set this plunge rate to really, really fast. So because I run torch height control, if this is too slow, you're not going to get a nice cut, because then as the torch goes up and down off the torch height control, it's going to be too slow and you'll get rounded corners, this and that. Like I said, it'll look like junk. So mess with these two settings. My next one I want to do is get some 10 gauge stuff and come in here and mess with this feed rate. Okay. And I just click. So I select a tool. Okay. Now I'm ready to go. All right. See you in the next video.